My name is Enrique Espinosa. In this video I'm going to show you how to program classes and objects in the C# programming language. Please bear in mind that what I'm going to teach you will also be usable using Java, C++, and many other object-oriented languages. First, we need to go through a couple of concepts. Concept number 1, class. A class is an information structure used as a template. This information structure has two main sections. First, attributes. Attributes are data. Think, for example, of strings, integers, floating point numbers, Boolean values, arrays, vectors. The second section is behavior. You might think of those as procedures, routines, subroutines. In this case, for objects, we will call all these as methods altogether. You can also think of attributes as nouns: boy, tool, dish, building, stack. Behaviors can be thought of more like a verb: run, package, do, print. Classes will be used to create copies of itself. Each copy will be called an object. So we tend to say that an object is an instance of a class. Object number 1 over here has the same structure as its parent class. It has attributes and methods. It has exactly the same attributes that the class has. Objects number 2 and 3 will also have the same structure. So what's the difference between all three objects? Well, the data within. Say we have musical instruments. So this can be a piano, this can be a cello, this can be a trumpet. So the attributes, for example, name, which is a string, can store the string piano, the string cello, the string trumpet. The methods in the class will be copied exactly as they are to each object. So each object will have the same set of methods. What does that mean? It means, for example, that if we have class musical instrument and we have types name, type, and price, all three attributes are the same for each instance of this class. Now, for example, name is a string, the same as type, and price would be a floating point number. The methods that I've chosen to tell you about would be: please tell me your name, which will look for the name attribute. Please tell me your price, which will look for the price attribute. Please tell me your type, which will look for the type attribute. How does that work? So we have class musical instrument. Now let's reproduce this in two objects. So we have made instance number 1, which can receive a method, please tell me your name. And this object will respond piano, meaning that attribute name within has been given the string piano. The second object will respond to the same method, please tell me your name, but it will answer cello. So cello would be a string stored in the same attribute name. Therefore, we can see that object number 1 and object number 2 have the same structure but different information. That makes them different. Now let's go to C#. This is the first part of a series of videos. So here I'll just tell you that we have to make our new project once again, like we have done before. That will be a console application, and we will call this Fundamentos 2. So here we go. Now we have our program. Let's say we want to make class musical instrument. So what we do is type class musical instrument, and the C# programming environment will make us the space to write attributes. So going back to the PowerPoint presentation here, we know we have to type in the name attribute, the type attribute, and the price attribute. If we do that in C#, what we have to do is make a space for each one of them. So we'll say string name, we'll say string type, and we will say float price. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. What about the behavior? Well, the behavior, like I said before, would be tell me your name, tell me your price, tell me your type. Now we have to make this more programmatic, so we can give it method names. We'll say, for example, public. Give me your name. A second method will be give me your type. And the third one will be public. Give me your price. So we have a program like this. It's still not complete. We have to tell the method what type, data type, does the name return. The give me your name method returns. So we know name is a string. We have typed this. So we'll say public string, give me your name. The type is also a string. So I'll say it's a public string method. It returns a string. And I'll say float for price. Now, in order to return the actual value, we would need to do something like this. Return this. This means the local copy inside this object of the attribute name. In this other case, we will say return this. Since we're talking about the type, I'll say type. And in third case, I'll say return this. And since we're talking about the price, I'll say price. So now we have a class made up of 3 attributes and 3 methods. This is the reproduction, the more precise reproduction of this. Okay, so let's save the project. The project will be saved and will be run. Now the program still does nothing, but that will change later on in a second video. For now, class, object, and we'll go on later on in the second video. Thanks for watching.